Cedar Point amusement park, there are men who are hanging out in its loftiest of places. They're literally chaining themselves to a roller coaster. As part of my Ohio series, I went to Cedar Point in Sandusky to see why men would chain themselves to some of the highest points of the park. Well, let's just say they were on a roll. The skyscrapers of Sandusky, tallest structures in the area, often people-filled, but quiet now. Cedar Point Amusement Park's off-season has settled in for what many think is the downtime of fall and winter.
Nothing could be further from the truth. There's a whole world of activity that goes on here during those months and the winter months when we're closed.
Screams of riders and screeches of roller coasters are gone. In their place are other high-pitched sounds. Men are wrapping the roller coaster in its new coat, one of paint, which will help the ride out winter. Painting a roller coaster? You bet. Like bridges and other outdoor steel, coasters need paint to keep them strong. It's got to stand up to Lake Erie weather.
Exactly.
All of that.
All the elements around us, the sun, the rain, the snow. Chris
Bynum's company specializes in painting roller coasters. 30 years ago, Bynum was a house painter who had never been up on anything higher than a third-floor roof. Still, he bid on a wooden roller coaster job and won it. 200 roller coasters later, he is still in the loop.
We've had our ups and downs, no pun intended. A lot of skill and experience involved.
Bynum's workers have pushed and pulled painters' rollers on coasters throughout the U.S. and in Mexico and China. Gutsy, steel-minded men who inch along, hanging from baskets, and who work in every curve of a crooked world.
And he's halfway done, so
halfway there.
Yeah, so he's got, a couple more hours there, and then they'll come back over here.
Cedar Point's Mantis coaster is sporting a new color to go with its new name, Rougarou, the legendary werewolf. Getting their arms around Rougarou, painters do their own twists to bend themselves into pretzel-like turns of steel.
Position the lift, it's got all different angles of putting it in a position where both of us can paint. If I don't put it in a position where both of us paint, then only one guy is painting.
When you ride this roller coaster, watch out for that first hill. It's a big one. When the car goes over that first hill, the rest of the way on the roller coaster, it coasts all the way home. But for the painters who go over that first hill, well, there's always another hill to paint. A 45-day job requiring 500 gallons of paint. Intensive work. Ins and outs, rounds and rounds, loop-de-loops. But hardest to paint, they say, is the incline hill where riders will clackety-clack skyward, positioning for that first dive. The loop is easy. That's easy. So when you board this ride or look at it in awe, think of these men who paint in the coils of a roller coaster. They are thankful for the work while they joke with their boss, "You got me going in circles." But that is okay. They signed on, aware that what goes around comes around. I'm Leon Bibb. The painters are always moving because the Mantis roller coaster, to be renamed Rougarou, is 145 feet high, 3,900 feet long. Think about that the next time you paint your house. The painting company says it paints 15 to 25 roller coasters a year. That's a big one there.
That is.
Wow.
I'm queasy just looking at that piece, Leon.
Yeah.
A lot of paint, too.
And boy,
Very much so.
Couldn't have a fear of heights and do that job.
No, not at all.
That's a specialty then. They just paint roller coasters.
That's all they do. They paint them all over the world.
Wow.
Experts.
Okay.
Amazing.
Pretty cool.
Thanks, Leon.
Thanks, Leon. A lot of folks